It's day 4 of Shri and Dewani's trial in the Western Cape High Court, and News 24 reporter Roy McKenzie has been in court for the proceedings today. Roy, thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
So, what's been happening today?
Well, I mean, I think firstly, no one really has been paying attention because obviously it's Oscar Pistorius, so that's where all the attention pretty much has been going. Probably not a bad thing because not terribly much exciting has happened. It was the continuation of the cross-examination of the alleged hitman, Dewani. So the defense, Francois van Zyl, was basically just questioning him and going through all the finer details of his statement and trying really hard, I think, to cast doubts on his testimony and his version of events, which will obviously help the defense's case.
Right. Now, over the weekend, lots of the weekend newspapers focused on Shri and Dewani's double life, they called it. Why is that significant to this case?
Well, obviously, the state is trying to show that as motive. If he is bisexual or gay, then he obviously was trying to get out of this marriage, and that's why it is important to it. What's interesting, what happened in the last week, last Monday, is that he answered all of those all those allegations right up front. He came clean, admitted everything, and hopefully what I think they were trying to do is to be honest right up front, so that there would be no surprises, and his character would be quite, his integrity would be quite intact. So I think, that was what was happening. Today he kind of had a little bit of an emotional breakdown. He was in tears and he took a sip of water and he tried to compose himself. This is during very exhaustive questioning about the actual hijacking and the shooting and what position Annie was in and where the two accused were, and all of the sort of the finer details. Was she lying down? Who opened the door? Who fired the shot? The glove came into it. The residue from that. What the defense was trying to do was to put it to Kwabe that he actually was the one who fired the shot and not his, not the other guy in the taxi who. And that's what came through in their trial. So the defense has really just been trying to kind of poke holes in the state's case.
But why would it be significant that Kwabe and not Ngeni fired the shots?
Well, I think it's, firstly they're trying to show that he lied under oath, and that'll obviously cast doubt in him as a witness. They've done exhaustive tests. They put it to him, and they use that wonderful legal phrase, I put it to you, that he could not have fired the shot. Because what Kwabe said is from, that Ngeni shot Annie from the front seat. And they said, well, looking at it, and they're going to bring in ballistics experts and a pathologist to disprove that. So what they're really trying to do is just to discredit the witness, because obviously if a ballistics expert and a pathologist come along and offer a very different version of events with conclusive proof of that, then it's going to really question everything else that Kwabe has said in court. So that was what they were doing.
Now, the testimony does sound hair-raising, and I can imagine that it's not easy for Annie's family to hear this. Were they in court today?
All of them, and Shrin's on the other side. It's quite interesting how the court works, because in the center is the dock, which is raised, so Shri and Dewani is there, and then on each side, but they can't really see each other because the raised dock is in between, are the families on each side, and they're both there, sitting there very, very stoically, very quiet, not showing much emotion, but I mean, it's obviously difficult for them. I think for both sides, to hear this very exhaustive evidence.
That's News 24's Roy McKenzie. You can follow him on Twitter and stay tuned to News 24 Live for all the latest video news on the Shri and Dewani trial.